Hi, this is John Sanpietro, and I've received several emails recently about the topic of discounting. This was one of them. Dear John, recently my company told us discounting wasn't a good idea. However, my upline routinely discounts and advises us to do it as well. I'm trying to figure out who is right and who's wrong, and I was wondering if you would share your opinion. I'd be happy to. My opinion is that generally discounts do not work, and there are several reasons why they don't work. Number one, again, generally, stamping business owners are discounting without any type of a plan. They're discounting simply because they see other stamping business owners discounting as well. They're not actually crunching the numbers, they're just sort of copycatting. And in many cases, unfortunately, those copycatters are only seeing the tip of the iceberg. Now, when I say discounting without a plan, what I mean is that you have to have a reason to discount other than, quote unquote, my competition is discounting. And just because they're discounting, what you have to remember is that they're not necessarily making any money. In fact, they may not even necessarily be making any additional sales. If you don't have a plan, then you're really in trouble. You should only discount when you are reasonably certain that you will make more sales and more profit with the discount than without it. And the only way to be reasonably certain is to actually crunch the numbers and understand what you have to accomplish if you do decide to discount. Now, when you crunch those numbers, what you'll see is that it is very difficult to accomplish more sales and more profit with a discount. Let me show you an example. Let's say that you were going to give a 20% discount on a product purchase. Now, assuming you make a 30% commission, and since the discount comes 100% out of your pocket, what that basically means is you're giving up 66% of your profit. So for example, if you had a $100 product sale and you were not giving away anything, no discount, then you would earn a $30 commission on that sale. If you had that same $100 sale and you were giving away a 20% discount, which is essentially $20, because that $20 comes completely out of your pocket, you're only earning a 10% commission, or 1/3 of what you would have earned without the discount. Now that means you have to sell 3 times as much product with the discount as you would without it just to break even. So crunching the numbers. When you crunch the numbers, you'll see you may be making more sales. You may be making more sales, but you're making less profit. And if you're trying to get paid, making less profit, which is what happens when you discount most of the time, is not a good idea. So, if it's not a good idea, why do so many people do it? Well, again, sometimes they're just not crunching the numbers before they're offering the discount. So they're thinking they're doing a good thing for their business, but because they're not actually keeping track, in reality, they're losing money. And again, sometimes you're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. And what I mean by that is many of the stamping business owners out there who are most public about discounting either A, don't really care about making a profit. They're not running their business or trying to run their business like a business. It's more of a hobby. And so profit simply isn't a priority. Or B, they just don't care about making a profit from product sales because they make so much more on their downline commission checks as long as they meet a product sales minimum. So here's the problem. Most of the people who are copy discounting don't have large downline checks waiting for them. They're giving up their front end profit and they're not making any of it up on the back end. It's basically a losing proposition all around. So, in conclusion, crunch your numbers. Make sure you know why you're discounting, and be sure you're going to make enough additional sales to cover you on the front end. You should never discount just to get a downline check. It may give you a short-term gain. Yeah, you may spend a little bit of money or lose a little bit of money on the product sales, but make a much bigger check, and you may be thinking, great, I'm making a profit. Okay, yeah, short term, but long term, you're actually hurting your downline commissions because you're putting a whole bunch of pressure on your downline for them to discount, and then they make less money and they drop. And eventually, it's just a vicious cycle that absolutely decimates your business. In any event, you always want to keep the discounting to a bare minimum. You do not want to train your customers to expect discounting from you. And please, guys, don't do something just because you see other quote-unquote successful stamping business owners doing it. You may only be seeing the tip of the iceberg. Frankly, you don't really know if they're making money or not. And honestly, they may not realize how much money they're losing either. Don't throw away your income. You deserve to get paid, but you have to be careful that you're not doing things to yourself and to your own business that are keeping you from getting paid. Most of the time, discounting is one of those things that actually keeps you from getting paid. If you'd like to learn more about Stamping is My Business, please feel free to visit any of the sites listed here. And always, if you have any questions, send me an email at john@stampingismybusiness.com. This is John San Pietro, and I'm just trying to get you paid.